learn from the event? Man, I learned that, if we're being very, very bold, it gets you a lot of places. It gets you in specific rooms.
I learned that there's a lot of other people playing at a pretty high level.
Very high level. Yeah.
You actually you got to find your tribe. You know what I mean? You got to surround yourself by those sort of people. And just by doing that, even if you're not in the conversation, just by surrounding yourself with these high caliber people, you learn a lot. I mean, we're talking about like side conversations.
Yeah.
You have to be in the circle.
Yeah.
Just within the vicinity of that. Like if you think about the equivalent is like, kids saying something and you're like, where'd you hear that from? Right?
Yeah.
They heard it from somewhere. Right?
True.
So like that applies in like networking and business is if you're surrounding yourself by people that are like doing deals, doing transactions, closing deals.
Yeah.
You pick that up even if it's like a side conversation.
That's good. The other thing I learned is energy is everything, man. Like if you bring a certain level of energy into the room, people are going to pick up on that. They're going to vibe with it, the frequency. Like energy is the key. If your energy is very, very low, just from this weekend, everyone's energy was up here, just above and beyond. And I think that just really rubbed off on everyone else that was in the room. It was just this big ball of energy.
Yeah. And I think that part of that is also mindset.
Yeah.
I believe that a lot of, almost everybody there had probably the same mindset.
Yeah, for sure.
Mindset of, being a hustler, go-getter, like no days off, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
The mindset, I mean, obviously you take days off.
Yeah.
When you burn out and that sort of stuff, but the mindset is like, that's not your goal, right?
Yeah. I think the other big takeaway from this past weekend is get into rooms that are intimate, right? Like a lot of times we're looking for the biggest rooms with the most people. Man, get into the rooms that are very intimate, that are curated, that are specific to you and what you're doing, what you're trying to accomplish. That can level you up 10 times over than just getting into a big room.
And the only way to do that is to have a strong network. That's
100%.
it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these curated rooms are private or invite only.
For sure.
When you look at these massive networking events, generally they're pretty low caliber.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think statistically, by numbers, right?
Absolutely.
Numbers. So these sort of curated events, I mean, the amount of information you learn from other people is like 10x that of like a massive event.
Yeah, I agree. I also want to add that I think, maybe even next time it's the amount of folks that are invited. I mean, I'd love to have the same folks back, but the amount of folks that are invited next time, maybe we even dial it in even more, right? Like have the same folks that were here last time and then dial it in even more and keep it really intimate. I think that's the key. There was just so much feedback from this weekend from so many people that were really appreciative of the fact that we kept it so small and tight. I think that's the key.
I love the curation of the people at the event. I think there was a lot of time and energy put into that, a lot of thought put into that. When you see a lot of events, generally there's no rhyme or reason why people are, curated a certain way, but this was very specific and very intentful. I
agree. I think I love, I know I love the fact that everyone there was there for a purpose, was there with intent, and was there with this high level of energy again.
I came to the event because I want to surround myself by the top people in the industry in whatever they're doing. I know that I have blind spots, I have weaknesses, and I'm there to basically just learn and see if I can add value to anybody around me. There's so many things I'm implementing, but I think the number one thing that I'm going to implement when I leave is the processes. The conversation about process being key to your business sustainability, I think that's super key, and I think people overlook that. And so I do a self-assessment on my business and my life, and a lot of the stuff that's going to come out of that is building better processes and improving the existing ones to make it more efficient and scalable.
What am I going to implement? Man, I think we're already implementing it today. Media, social media, putting it out there, getting loud, getting in front of people, letting everyone know who you are, what you do, what you're about. That's the biggest thing, being loud with a high level of energy, just getting it out there.
Yeah, I think the other thing that I thought was really interesting is like you can talk about it in the room, but it's like almost an obligation for you to tell everybody else too.
Yeah,
to level everybody else up around you.
100%, yeah.
Well, first of all, the event was amazing from start to finish. I think even little details from you know, how you checked in, to where the location was, to the events that were happening, to the topics. I thought it was very, very high caliber the way they were set up. So I love the event. I think people should come because it's one of those things where you can spend your time networking at these other random events, or you go to one of these and learn 10x in a short amount of time. I mean, it's just you know, easy decision for me.